Today is the day we fit our first beam.
Welcome back to Ship Happens. Last week we ran out of wood, so we've just been and restocked up on our oak. Have a guess how much all this cost? I'll let you know at the end of this episode. Right, let's go to the boat and fit some more packers.
It's slightly windy today. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I've got my little rubbish microphone thing all charged up today, brilliant. Right, so we now need to fill all these gaps in. But what we need to do is put some frames in first for the that go basically above the window. They were left out. They're basically very, very short frames at 300mm. So we're going to put them in first, and we can measure all the gaps then. And then we can put the packers in. And then when we've done that, then we can start looking at the deck beams. So unfortunately I haven't got any painted frame material, so to give these a very quick paint, stick them out in the sun, and hopefully they'll be dry to fit, because we need to measure against these. So I'll just leave these to dry now in the sun. So as far as measuring up for the packers, I'm still unsure where the deck beams are going. I'm predicting one's going to go here. So we'll leave this one for now. So we'll do number 2. I think there might be a stanchion here as well. So I might just make it up to here, but then leave a gap here so we can fill this one in when we know exactly where the beams are going. So I think we'll start with 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So number 2 is 160, 173, Right, so they dried amazingly fast. I put gloves on expecting them to still be a bit wet, but they're alright. Should have been wet bit somewhere. Right, so we need to put them in there. Them in there. So we now need to get them fixed in now. Ah, don't do that. Kind of struggling a bit with the wind today. It's proper howling. You notice Gemma's not here again. Amelia's poorly now, so she's in bed with a really bad cough and a cold. So I really hope I don't get it. And I'm feeling a bit weird with all this wind today. But yeah, hopefully Gemma's in tomorrow. Hopefully she's here tomorrow. Right, so what's next? Got to do the very forward one, but I think we're going to nail these 2 frames now because they're a bit wobbly. So I've put these in position now, so that'll hold the position, then we can nail them. Should be able to work from outside to nail it. So yeah, we'll nail them, then we'll move forward to number 1, which is the tapered one. Right, so I was going to put copper between these 2 here, but we've actually got a bit of a gap going on. So I think what we're going to do is just like thready bar it for now, then we can pull it all tight, we'll get in memory, and then when Gemma's here, then we can put nails in, because we've got to put nails in all the way down this beam shelf, which we haven't actually got around to doing that yet. So I think for now, yeah, we'll just nut and bolt it, pull it all tight, try and get the memory back in. Right, so we need to fill this gap here now. This is the stem, so we've got our wedgie shaped pieces there that we used to call them. So now we need to make packers to go in here. So there's a definite difference in angles there. So let's start making that. I'm not going to make the mistake of knocking it all the way in, because last time it took me hours to get it back out. So we're just going to lop this off around there for now. So now we've got like a triangle shaped piece now to put in. So I've just come to start working this out now, and then I realised we need another stanchion, but we don't know where the deck beam's going. Like these here, I'm not sure where the deck beams are going. So I keep starting to do a job and go, I've got to do this, but then you got to think about that. So what I may as well do is just leave them for now. I'll paint 2 of them, don't know. Get the rest painted, and then what we need to do is start working on the deck beams, don't we? So if the deck beams are in, then we can put these in whenever, or just before the deck goes on maybe, or just before the packers, the ones that go in between the 2 deck beams go in. There's no point me messing around for ages now. And another thing I've been looking at is the angle of the stanchions. So I've got a simulation stanchion in there, but level to the world, the knot, and even level to the deck, because all the frame seems to sort of cant slightly that way. So I don't know whether we need to really think of the aesthetics of the stanchions, because they're going to be on show, aren't they? They're going to be inside the bulwarks. So what I need to do is get all these fitted and painted, and then we need to really start preparing for the deck beams, or do as many jobs as we possibly can before the deck beams go down. Yeah, right. Let's get these out, let's get them painted, then we can fit them, then we can rethink them. Alright, let's get all these painted. Send a message off Gemma. Turns out Amelia's got COVID. Don't know what the protocol is at the moment for COVID. They're doing them little test things. She tested positive and she's really poorly, so maybe I should just stay out of the way. What do you think? Right, remember all these beams we made in the workshop? Well, they've been sanded, planed, been routed on the bottom, they're all beautiful now. So, we now need to start figuring out how we're going to fit them. So we have a discussion off camera. So I think the first one we fit is the bulkhead one, because the bulkhead hasn't moved, does it? That's all double diagonal. We know that's perfect. So if we fit the first one, that gives us our datum then, doesn't it? So then we can then start working out the other ones following off that. But I think today what we do is focus on the bulkhead beam.
So that is beam number 3. So what we need to do really then is cut all the deck away.
Unfortunately, yeah. We're out in the elements, but the weather gods have been good to us, or are going to be good to us, according to the Met Office anyway. So,
right, let's get the saw out. So we're having to take our flappy bit off because like we're cutting all the deck now.
So we're going to have basically a massive big hole, which we're trying to think of workarounds. How can we work around that? How can we not do that? But luckily we've got a couple of 8x4 sheets. We've obviously got this material here we're cutting off. We can then patch it back up for a short period of time.
Biggest problem is like trying to work, isn't it? Out in the elements, but also try and keep the boat as watertight as you can.
And secured.
Yeah.
And secured, but luckily we haven't got any water until what, Sunday?
Yeah.
So yeah, what day is it now? Tuesday? So yeah. You're making them screws tamper-proof?
Yeah.
Cool. And then where do we put it all?
Stick it behind there.
What?
Down here.
Wow. Oh dear. I think it's a good job that we're changing this beam. We've seen better days. Right, so we've exposed the beam now. So this is the beam that we're going to be changing. These here are the original planks, like the double diagonal. So some of the original planks are a bit poorly on the top, which is these ones here. So we can change them quite nicely, but I think we'll change them once the beam's in, then we've got something to like fix against. This one here, yeah, it's a bit soft. Might end up changing that one. But what I think we need to do first is get the actual beam off in a sympathetic manner, because if we leave all these in here, these are all going to give us our datum then, aren't they? So we can take that one out, we can put the new one in exactly in the right height at least. So up and down, then we can work forward, then we can work aft, depending on this one. So what I'm going to do now is get the original beam out, and then we can go from there. I think if we go for a long series one, I was going to throw a new one on them, but I'm dead tight with these, you know.
We've got quite a few.
I know, but I'm so tight. Where should we start? We start an end. We get wedges in it then, can't we? Yeah! I don't know why we didn't think of that in the first place, but at least we thought about it in the second place, didn't we?
Woohoo!
So
That was definitely due for renewal, wasn't it?
It's fine, that. Okay. So now then we need to change this plank now before we take these ones out, because then we can follow the contour of them.
Tell you what, that is a quality chisel. Look at that.
I think at some point in the build we need to buy ourselves some decent chisels.
Yeah, but not too decent now, because you just wreck them. Use them for stuff like this, don't we? So
that's what a chisel's for. you see that first? Is that one there?
Can't really tell because they're all very covered in paint and filler this side.
There's one there as well.
Oh, there goes the wood. So yeah, we've definitely got some tops of planks to change.
Very good. Oh dear.
Right, give it a clean up.
Right, so we've selected a piece of Iroko, we've cut it down to length. All it's going to do is make the top plank, which is going to be hidden by the beam that we put on. But we might need to get this on now, and then what we need to do is actually take measurements, don't we, Jem?
Yeah.
So where are we going to take measurements for?
Well, technically now, if we put some marks on where the height of the planks are, put some little lines on, we should be able to take that plank off then, put our beam on it, and it should follow the same curve if we've done the beams right. And if this isn't rotten enough to actually get references from. So, should we put some marks on it? I'll just stick some little reference marks. I haven't got any in there because they all fell away. Stretch. Okay.
So what I'm going to do as well, I'm just going to put a reference just on the inside. I don't know why, just in case we lose it for some reason. Yeah. So I'm going to put a little reference there.
Right, let's put a
Throughout
beam.
this whole build, it's always like, you never know what you're doing. You haven't got a clue. You know, everyone else would be like, oh, I know what I'm doing, but we're quite open with this. We're just like, I don't know what we're doing. We're making it as we go along. We're going to learn by the next set of problems, aren't we? With the next set of problems, but you just got to go for it. It's like life, isn't it? You just got to go for it and sort of, you'll figure it out. Don't let anyone tell you can't do it. Do you know what I mean?
It's just a big jigsaw puzzle, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to do a small bit, small bit, small bit, and then we can fit in. Then you look back and you go, oh yeah, look what we did.
Right, then let's see if them lines line up with the beam curvature. And if it's seriously off, then we've... should we just give
Seriously, if it's miles off, then we'll probably edit a bit funny. Anyway, we'll tell you.
up? Do they line up? Yeah. 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 Wow. Okay.
I think we're doing something right.
We're doing a thing. Right then.
Considering we measure it here, take it back to the workshop, mess around with it for a bit, bring it back here, and that's brilliant. That's really good. So yeah, now we need to draw that on now. Then we need to cut that out, then that can be fitted to here. Right, Zane? Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
I can't believe that actually worked. Like every mark is bang on.
We've got a slight variance on this end one here. So let's put
That's
this
the
in.
only one, no, but that could have been my marking, because like when you mark with a Sharpie, you can be a few mil off. Yeah, that could have just been, yeah, that's my, you bang on there, that's just my marking.
Okay.
Blame me for that one.
Right, so that fits absolutely perfect. So we've removed the packers for now, because what we're going to do is get this down enough, and then we'll work out the cuts right on the end, because it'll have a packer on the end of this beam. But yeah, so we're just going to cut it first, get it close, and then we can put some simulation pieces of wood next to it to mark it out. But okay, so we need to keep cutting the ends off a bit until she sits on top of them uprights there, so until she sits on them, then we can start thinking then, can't we?
Yep. Going good though. So we're just trying to work out how to cut the beam shelf to make it fit nice to the deck beam, or cut the deck beam to fit to the beam shelf. Because obviously you don't want to take too much material away from either ends to make it thin and flimsy. So we're at the point now where we need to start working out cuts because the deck beam is still 30mm too high. So should we just grab the old one and see how the old one fitted?
Yes.
So there's how the old one fitted. And it just sort of went to there. It wasn't cut in nice around the beam shelf or anything, so I'm sure we can get it better than that.
And that's the height of that there. So we don't need to fill that bit in, do we? We can just go along there, along there.
So you think that's what we need to cut out?
Well, basically, I use this. So basically, we need this beam here to come down to this level here. So that is basically set at that height. So provided it goes down that far, it's fine. If not, we can put shims under it or something. Right, let's go and cut that.
I think it's obviously first I've ever fitted a deck beam.
Yeah.
And obviously we do all experimental and guesswork and stuff like that, but we're usually quite good at guesswork. But it's quite nerve-wracking because it's the first one. So you always spend ages and ages doing the first one. Yeah, hopefully the rest will be a lot quicker.
This one's quite complicated as well because obviously we've got the
wasp.
We've got the actual bulkhead to contend with as well. That's
But
another element.
We need to get this one perfect because then this is what we're going to be referencing off for the other ones, isn't it? So don't rush, do it right.
Yes, so we can't really just use the jigsaw because every angle's different. So I think we might have to handsaw it. But get a saw arm going.
Because you've sort of got to angle that way and then that way, and yeah, we'll get there.
If this fits, it's going to be a miracle.
Okay, so now we're going to cut.
So you can see the difference between this side and that side.
Simon said, remember that game? Simon said, don't film me while I'm doing these cuts.
Not too much anyway, so.
Because it'll really distract me. Because as soon as the camera comes out, like everything goes wrong. So these are quite weird cuts, aren't they, with all the angles. So we're going to give them some peace and we're going to do this off camera. So let's see how this goes.
Go away! I'm joking.
Are you winning?
Yeah. It would help if I had a sharper handsaw. It's not that. No.
Do you know what I've always wanted?
Well,
And if anyone's got any recommendations as to where to get one from, since we started this build, it's something I've always wanted, and he's never bought me, even though I've hinted 20 million times.
You've always watched Leo, haven't you? Samsung Boat Care.
I've watched everyone that have got these little Japanese little hand saws, and I've always said I want one, but I can never find one. And I've had a look on Amazon, and the ones on Amazon look a bit crap. And they'd fall apart.
We need one that'll go through a couple of nails and everything.
No, but for like little cuts like this.
Yeah, we're actually starting to do some decent stuff now, aren't we?
So if anyone's got any you know what I mean? The ones that with the wooden handles and then they're like a saw, but you know what I mean. Sort of like this. So if you've got any recommendations as to where to get one, if you've got one and used one, because I don't want to buy one and then it to be rubbish, like quality, because you know there's some proper knockoff stuff, isn't there? So send me some links over if you can find one. The Japanese knives, aren't they? So I want a Japanese knife.
Saw.
So, no, it's not. Oh yeah, so Japanese sword knife thing, not a Chinese one.
I could actually set on my finger saw for this, but
I feel like an undercover filming agent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, saw. Okay, I'll let it off. It was with that bit wedged into it, honestly. Oh, fuck off. Oh, damn. Leo would be made up.
Right, let's go and I'll find our best chisel.
Best chisel, come on.
So, that one.
Why are you taking the cream off my job? Why you put it in the water as well?
I didn't mean to put it in the
Put
water.
it in our backup water.
Wow. It's like this might be a grinder job, this.
We won't go too much because we want to make sure it gets close before we just
I'm gonna get that big noggin off.
You want to try and look like.
Yeah. I can get that better.
I'm just going to sharpen your chisel.
Would help, like if you had like, you know, you see every other woodworker and the chisels just go through the wood dead easy. Or you gotta like smack it with a hammer because they're that blunt. I don't even think we can cut up butter with these chisels, look.
Straight off the grinder.
Oh, he's taking me glory now.
Yeah. Right, well for now, we'll leave that for now, because we'll see if it fits first. We might be miles out to start again, but I will cut this end.
Does it fit?
See if it goes close. Not quite yet.
So we've still got to come down about 10 mil.
It's that. It's that.
It's that.
Right.
Oh. It's like 2 mil this end.
Yeah, just wants a little bit more.
Couple of mil.
Yeah, I'll show you where it needs it now. Basically, we're tight up against here. We're tight up against here, which will then drop us down. Everything else is looking pretty cool as.
So just looking at the level from like
Yeah, it's the
there to
same.
there, so it's just a couple of
Basically
mil.
the same distance, yeah.
Always like it when we laminate something up and then like obviously we cut a bit off to actually see what it's like inside, because obviously when you laminate it you never really see, do you? And you know, it's all absolutely perfect, there's no big voids, but what's actually interesting is like how strong it is. And like,
Go on and break it.
I'm trying to break it, I really am. I could do it like a vice. Oh, we've got a vice, haven't we?
I've got a new vice actually.
Should we go and stick it in the vice and whack it with a hammer? And
It'll break.
It will, yeah, because obviously it'll break, but actually it'd be interesting to see, does it break at the glue lines or does it actually just break the wood? Should we go and have a look? Should we see how many Gemma hits it takes to break it?
What are you going to hit it with?
A hammer?
Well, yeah, but What, sledgehammer? Plastic hammer?
My big 4 hammer. Let's go and have a go. Right, in the bite it goes. Size hammer should we use? Start off with a little one. Oh, that's really interesting. So that has actually hasn't broke on a glue line. It's broke the actual wood halfway up. So the glue hasn't even broken, look. It's broke there. So that just goes to show you, doesn't it, that the epoxy is actually stronger than the wood. Yeah, look at that. So there's the glue line there. So it hasn't even broke on the glue line, it's broke the wood. So does that mean a laminated piece is stronger than just a normal piece of wood? Woo!
Right, so she fits quite good. How many times better is it than the original?
100 times better.
We're well better. I'm only joking.
No, it does fit nicer.
The thing is, we've actually spent a whole day doing this. I bet when the original boys did it, they had about 10 minutes, didn't they? Quick, there's a war on. Right, so yeah, she now hugs around this piece, whatever it's called. I don't know, holds the bulkhead together. Now it goes over our beam shelf. So it actually hooks over the beam shelf. So is that like a bit of a fancy joint of where the boat can't come apart? I don't know. But we didn't really want. I didn't really want to take into the beam shelf because that reduces strength. So what we've just done now is we've marked out here. So basically our packer needs to go back in because we removed that earlier to make it easier for us to get it in. So we've now marked down there. So we're going to cut them. You agree?
Yeah, and then that will slide and the beam shelf will sit to that, and then we can actually fix the beam shelf from the outside if we wanted to, through the hole and into the packers.
And the deck beam.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You know what, words.
Words just don't mean anything.
Right, so let's go and cut it, and then I think it's ready to paint. So
Whoa, you're not painting it, are you?
I know it's sacrilege and it is so pretty, but the deck beams in the anchor locker, you're never ever going to see them. So, and it's going to be such a wet area because of all the wet chain and stuff like that. So we are going to paint the ones that you don't see in the anchor locker. Me and Simon, we are still fighting about what to do with the ones that you're going to see inside. And I want oil and Simon wants to epoxy them. So we still need you to settle this debate.
Right, just a quick sort of side note. I hate going on little tangents, but right, we've got piece of wood, layer of epoxy, piece of wood, layer of epoxy, piece of wood, layer of epoxy. Can you get me gist? So it's already epoxied. It's epoxied internally.
Yeah, but also I love the idea of epoxying them because they'll look really nice and they'll be like no maintenance. But you've also got to think how quick we need to get them cut, get them like painted or something, or and then fitted. The oil, I can do the oil further down the line once the deck's on and we're on to like making the insides look pretty. But to epoxy them, it'd mean getting to this point now where it's at the right shape it needs to be. Then we'd have to take it inside. We'd have to epoxy it. Then we'd have to leave it to dry for 2 days before we can even fit it. So I know like why you want to epoxy them, but actually when you think about the practicalities of leaving the whole boat open for 2 days while the epoxy dries, it's not very practical with the weather that we deal with and the time constraints.
Right, let's go and paint this one.
It is such a shame to cover such a beautiful piece of wood. But it has to be protected, so... Oh, while I'm here, we had a Amazon delivery the other day. I don't even know it's off. Enjoy your gift. A couple more from Alan. Thank you so much, Alan. So Alan has sent us 4 more clamps, which very, 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 very needed clamps. So thank you so much for them, Alan. Right then, let's get this deck beam painted. There you go. It's quite a momentous occasion, really, isn't it? The first deck beam. I think in the bow area there is about 12 to do in total. But obviously we're going to have to sort of do it in stages because we can't take the whole boat apart at once. Right, while I'm painting, I just want to say hello to a little young viewer of ours. Now, I love to hear about sort of all of our viewers. But we've got a lovely lad called Dalton, who is 7 and apparently watches our videos more than once. so thank you so much, Dalton, and we hope that you are enjoying them. And maybe one day you could grow up to be a boat builder too. So there we go.
Ooh, first ever deck beam gone in.
Well, no, it's not gone in.
Okay.
It's still on the bench waiting
Prepared,
to get...
painted.
Yeah, a few more coats of paint. A few more coats of paint and that'll be ready to go in.
Yep.
But I don't think we're going to fully secure that one, are we?
Maybe, because that's our only reference. We know it has to be at that point, so I don't know. But we can't fully secure it anyway because we need to do a lot more work on the bulkhead, but we're going to do that. We can do that from the inside.
Yes.
So I think we'll get a couple of fixings in it. We won't glue it in just yet. And then, okay, so we'll figure out. But what we need to do now, from now on, so next time we're going to be work forward, aren't we?
Yes.
On the forward 2 beams.
Yeah, because we can't keep taking deck off.
No.
Because we're going to end up with no deck and a very unsecure boat.
Yes. And winter's fast approaching as well, so this is going to give us a load of strength, isn't it? So I'm quite excited about it. I like make sure we're very strong. So.
Yes, so come back next time to see how many more deck beams, because the first one was the hardest. They should start flying in now, so let's see if we can get a deck on before winter comes.
Yes. At least a lot better the deck, aren't they?
Okay, today is, just for your reference, because I know a lot of people don't understand the timeline of where we are. Today is the 9th of October. Ooh. And it is seasonally warm for the 9th of October.
Yeah, I've been in a t-shirt all day.
It's been like 21 degrees all day. No wind, which is actually being really makes a change. So we're here all week trying to make the most of the weather. And yeah, let's see how we get on. So all of this oak, there are 23 planks. They are all a bit different widths. But this set us back £2,071. I nearly had a heart attack. But thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all to our patrons and supporters who really do help with the boat, because it really helps us be able to buy materials like this. Thanks for watching. See you all next week. All the work that we do on Sarinda is all made possible with the support of our amazing Patreon supporters and Coffee Monthly members. Without their support, this project wouldn't be possible. So thank all of these people on the screen, as without them, these videos wouldn't be possible. And if you want to join our Patreon or monthly members on Coffee and get early access to our videos and help support the project, we would be so grateful. Until next time, see you next week.